and make a big mess.
That was hot.
Bonk, bonk, bonk! That is what you sound like!
Style, and they won a tournament, easy 3-0 in the grand finals, and I'm just a big fan. You know, I should not be a fan of a certain teams, but Viking, they're very close to my heart because boys are sticking together, they're grinding, and I think a lot of the teams out there, could learn a lot from Viking, where they found, you know, a friendly environment to play in, and they have high-skilled players, and I think if you swap one or two players, this team could easily just, you know, fall apart because it just feels like a bunch of dudes that are having a great time. They're great at Dota, and now they started to win some tournaments as well.
Yeah, I think the real big thing for me, like you're saying about Viking, is that kind of, you know, team cohesion, that all of them know what each other's doing. They've got great captaincy, and just as a squad in general, they play a really nice tight game of Dota 2. Over on the other side, Hellraisers, you know, as the panel has been kind of swapping players in and out over the past year or so, still trying to find that roster, as a lot of teams are struggling to do through the kind of coronavirus period, is kind of settling down and trying to figure out where they're heading. But Lil on Hellraisers in that position 4. How do you feel about that?
My deepest sympathies.
Well, Lil always surprised me how good he played. He had some problems with his temper. I can hear you, yeah. Hello.
The battle begins.
Gareth, my boy.
I think we're cutting in out on the old Discord. I might try just rejoining it back again. Okay. Looks like bounty runes though, pretty easy.
You asked about the Lil. I think he has what it takes to be in a top-tier team. Finally, he found a place for him right now in an organization. And like these guys, you know, you have some old school, you have some new school as well. But he definitely has what it takes to, you know, at one point possibly be top 5 at TI, you know.
Yeah, I think Lil definitely has that drive to be a top-tier competitive player, that's for sure. So lanes all being set up now as this game 1 well underway. Funnick and Lil up at top with the Slaughter Alina. Tons of stuns there up against the Void and Io, Shad and Celery. So it's kind of stuns and aggression against a bit of regen and trading with Time Warp and Tether. And towards that mid lane, Queen of Pain against Pugna as Boom takes on Ksani. How do you feel this lane should go? Because I don't often see this kind of matchup.
Pugna starting with the Nether Ward at level 2. You know, I don't think he's gonna get much out of that. Queen of Pain needs to hit it 4 times to actually kill it, and you can always deny it. So there's like an extra unit that you can play around it. But I gotta say, I'm not a big fan of Pugna as the last pick here. You know, it's a great save inside the Chronosphere. Life Drain great against CK Illusions. At one point, he's gonna get that Aghanim Scepter, but there's also a ton of magical damage.
Oh, there sure is. And I guess another great thing about the Pugna in that last pick, even if you don't like it, Lacoste, he really does synchronize quite well with Lifestealer, being able to push towers once a couple of items are picked up by either of those core heroes. And then down bottom, we will not neglect the bottom lane, Aramis and Toby, your Snapfire and CK. Again, this kind of aggressive off lane with a lot of stuns on both sides. This time up against Witch Doctor and Nix on the Lifestealer down there, farming away quite happily for now. But a good little pull from Viking, like a half pull.
Yeah. This is something that he has been doing, you know, half pulls during the Vplay Omega League, where you just deny 1 or 2 CS every single time when it's possible, and then lane is gonna naturally push into your side. To go back to Pugna talk, I don't see too much synergy between, you know, Witch Doctor, Alpi, Slardar, heavy physical damage. Same goes for Lifestealer, so he needs to be careful about using that aggressively.
Oh, shoot.
And it is just continual. It's getting contested by Nix now as the Lifestealer playing a little forward. Holding up that rage when the stun comes. Will be able to dodge that projectile quite nicely.
That was a sick dodge. Just kidding, man. I think everyone in our chat can do that thing. You know,
the window of opportunity there is pretty wide.
CK has to be like the worst hero to try to hit the hero in the fog with Reality Rift. We've all been there. Cask on the bottom lane plus Maledict. Witch Doctor.
Here come the stun.
Used everything, yeah.
And Toby's in there with some big hits. Nix needs to run away though, as Aramis thinking about turning and fighting. No mana for the cookie. We'll have it up in a second if they want to try and just have another poke and a prod here towards Witch Doctor. That won't be happening. So a lot of action in that bottom lane as both teams are really just trying to get that upper hand in this early laning stage. But CK farming dead even with a Lifestealer has got to be a good sign for Viking at the very least. But then you look at the upper lanes, Pugna and Slardar leading the CS with a lot of denies between them as well.
Yeah, top lane should go that way. Hellraisers, whenever you see Slardar against a melee hero, you know he's gonna have a really good time, especially when he's paired up against Faceless, a hero that doesn't really threaten a kill early on, especially if he's paired up with an IO. This is just, you know, pure sustain. I see Celery in the jungle. He made one stack, and that's pretty much it. You know, he understands that he can't really go in and try to play aggressive on a Slardar. He's a tanky boy with the bracers sitting on almost 1000 HP 4 minutes in.
Yeah, and all it takes is, you know, one bash into a crush, Lina nearby, and all the stuns could take Io down quite easily, sitting on just 700 HP. Pretty low on the armor as well. Looks like down bottom, Maledict ticking on Toby.
What Toby's doing. Yeah, pay attention. He puts the infused rain backpack during the match so he doesn't waste his charges.
Oh, bounty runes are coming. There's the stun from CK. In comes Grandma, hopping over the Lifestealer to give the bounty rune away. But it is first blood, picked up by Toby. Pugna hasted. Looks like he's snuck around the back to grab a bounty rune a little deeper. So is that going to be 4 bounty runes? The top one's not grabbed just yet. Oh, hello. Lina stuns the IO top. Slardar wasn't able to get in range to catch up though.
Yeah, no one's picking up the top bounties. At one point, Lil will just go and pick it up. I love the build on him, starting with the Mantle, Circlet, then getting a Ring of Bassi, 1-1-1 build where you have a lot of attack speed coming up from Fiery Soul. Io should be careful. Like, Lina dishes serious amount of damage with just 2 spells.
He wanted the sneaky courier snipe. That's what he's up to. Well, Boom having a few struggles in that mid lane.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that huge struggles. I would call that a complete domination, Gary. 34-15 against 19. And now Lina even rotates, gets the Arcane Rune.
Would that be a disaster?
Dire structures are fortified.
Yeah, I would call it like that. You see, they're already using a glyph. Queen of Pain, only level 5, forced to use a blink. They're playing with the catapult timing. They just want to try to put as much pressure as they can on this tier 1 tower. There's the rotation from Aramis.
Celery's here as well, trying to play onto Lil. Daggers in, the scream will finish her off. Lina down, kill off the Nether Wall. They defend their tier 1 mid. It looks like the Void and the CK both just falling back to play a little more defensively, knowing that the 2 supports have moved in to help out the Queen of Pain.
I just want to see Snapfire getting a point and Lil Shredder, then killing the Lil. Shred the Lil.
Shred the Lil, live up to its name. Hello, CK going in for a stun. Maledict is there onto Toby. They cookie forward, and Witch Doctor is actually in a lot of trouble. The turnaround as Aramis makes the play down bottom.
You might like it.
Won't lose their courier.
They are getting the kills. It's 3-0 for
Chad, helped out by Celery, and now the turnaround with a TP from Queen of Pain. Boom wants in, but the Sonic Wave Scream takes down Funnick, and Lil's going to fall into the groove immediately after. Shad just needs a time off, but it's only level 2. They don't get the double, but still a good rotation from Boom.
Yeah, this is exactly what they needed to do. Like, Queen of Pain was having a really rough time on the mid lane. Both teams used the glyph, they killed the catapult, so Queen of Pain can't afford to make this kind of rotation. Like, ideally, you would want to get an extra kill, but this is also fine. 4-0. Hellraisers still without a single kill in this game, but 1k gold lead for them because, you know, Pugna is just completely dominating the net worth and CS chart, 52 and 15.
He is running away with things. His kill score, though, 0-0-0. He might have to start getting involved. One of Pugna's big things, though.
Tower is under attack.
He just beat a little Skelly, you know. And they
He's very
found
fast.
Arcane Ring, they found Faded Brooch. These are some really nice items. I want to see who's holding on to that Faded Brooch on their side. Oh, they found Iron Talent. Like, these are some really, really good. Lina holding it for now. I think you can give that to Slaughter, get some extra attack speed. I'm sorry, extra move speed, and the mana pool. This is something that the Slaughter
Dire's
definitely needs.
middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, it works great on him. Queen of Pain clearing out some of the stacks that Celery had been making. While Celery going for a self-D ward, kills off his own Observer ward that was blocking up a camp. Losing that mid-tier one so early on, but before 10 minutes, before that second catapult wave, it seems like a pretty nice opening here for Hellraisers to actually just continue to play into the side lanes now, because there is no objective there for them to take. And they'll do that on Toby. Shifting into action, Chaos Knight. They need a slow and a stun here. Looks like the damage from the life drain will be enough to bring down that
Radiant's
Horse
middle
Apocalypse
tower is
Maker.
under attack.
What's the response from Viking? It's to Chrono top. Yeah, with the Mortimer's Kisses, they'll go straight onto Funnick. Slaughter blown up as Viking make that move.
It's very hard to play against the Faceless Void once he gets to level 6, especially if you have this combination Snapfire, very high level. She's level 6 before 10-minute mark. Like, what you can do is try to bait them and then have like Pagana trying to save you with either the Cripify or a Life Drain, but you need to outnumber them. Otherwise, you need to sacrifice one guy, put
Radiant's
that
top tower
monster on
is
a
under
cooldown,
attack.
and then start playing aggressively a bit after.
Try and play
I was
around those timings. Just like, go on,
Yeah,
Lacoste.
go ahead.
It's all it's you.
No,
No, you
because
please,
I
my
saved this
fine,
one.
sir. Exactly.
Okay, so yeah, I see Lifestealer, no shenanigans, like straight face boots into Armlet, probably into Deso, some extra minus armor mid lane, Lil, drop
Lil, he escapes though. Those cask bounces, keeping the Lina barely alive. Viking still trying to find these little commitments that will get them objectives, because they've got Catapult coming in. They even
Dire's
lift the
top
creep
tower
wave.
is under attack.
Jumping forward with the Rift and the stun, but Lina's here. Life Strike Array is not going to save you from a Sonic Wave. And jumping forward, Toby wants to catch out Lil. Lina trying to TP home. Anything to stop her. Enough damage to put her in the grave.
Right now, Viking, they're just outnumbering them. They're bringing 5 heroes to the mid lane, trying to push some damage onto the tower. Right now, they have very limited tower damage, so they need to play around the catapult. Another aggressive move on the top lane.
They were hunting that Pugna. TP's bottom. Slaughter can also make his way out of here. Getting some use out of that trusty shovel.
And Faceless Void getting closer to his Hand of Midas. Like, you need levels with this hero because all of his spells, all of his talents are insanely good. Also attack speed with the bash, if you're blessed by Gaben. So CK going to Armlet, no, what we've seen, like drums into Aghanim Scepter, so he might actually scale as a core. They have
See you later, nerd.
very limited ways of, dealing with the illusions besides Pagna's Drain. Cask is good, yeah. How good?
Oh, Celery walks straight into Funnick, and the Laguna Blade will remove his life. CK is going to try and come in with a Reality Rift, but he's out of range. Both Lina and Slaughter make their way out. So you were talking about Viking, playing around this Chrono, and Hellraiser's trying to... While Chrono was down, Hellraiser's not matching that kind of 5-man maneuvering that Viking's been doing. Trying to spread out wide across the map, keep that Lifestealer farming away as his armlet is now completed. And Nix should be pretty ready to fight. And Viking going to try and defend Shad down bottom. Time walk back. Funnick doesn't get the wraparound that maybe he would have desired.
Viking doesn't necessarily need to go in all right now. They have Hand of Midas on Faceless Void. Queen of Pain is farming nicely, getting closer to her. Orchid, IO leveled for this stage of the game, but getting closer to mech. Like, if they those 2 big items, Orchid, mech, CK gets his armlet, I think they are very ready to take a fight.
And Boom is pretty close to that Orchid as well, as they Chrono Slaughter, bringing 3 heroes, all collapsing onto Funnick, even putting the Sonic Wave to him as well, as Boom dominating now after a Pretty difficult laning stage, but he's blinked into the Pugna Lina. Laguna plays down on top of the decrap. Xani and Lil blow up the aggressive Queen of Pain, and they're also going to try and catch out Celery, but a quick little jump back. That tether will allow him and Faceless Void to back away the angry hordes of HR heroes. They do come down bottom, and they get a really good trade.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Xani is extremely high level. He's about to hit level 12. Blast is maxed out. Look at his items. Like, he's gonna have Ether Lance and Glimmer Cape 14 minutes in. Like, he's actually the playmaking hero. They need to be grouping around and try to punish the cooldown that they have on Queen of Pain, ulti, and Faceless Void's Cronus here.
Yeah, now's the time for action for Hellraisers. As Aramis, smoking up towards high ground, tries to catch the Pugna. They relocate in, but it's all too slow. Shad maybe can time walk forward, but they've lost their opportunity now. Might be a chance for Hellraisers. They don't have the blink on Funnick, but the cast does catch Celery. Relocate home. Where's he gone? Not to Fountain. The Maldic ticking is going to try and TP back. Will he survive? Oh no! The Fairy Fire went in his backpack.
Yeah, his inventory was full. He was ready to buy a Fairy Fire. I think that would definitely save him. But unfortunately, it was in his backpack. And now Hellraisers are doing what I just said. You know, they need to start pressuring some towers. You have Pugna. You have a Lifestealer with I think because he has Slaughter in his team with the minus armor, so he should buff his team up. That's also going to be some extra minus armor. They catch this one. This is pretty big. There's the Orchid, but no. Mortimer's Kisses. Double damage should be enough.
Trying. Armor toggles, Nix. No. Shut down. I was just about to praise Hellraisers on being able to play this kind of 4-man bottom lane, shoving an objective, and Lifestealer playing a lot wider on the opposite side of the map to keep his farm going. But a good little catch by Viking, realizing that Lifestealer was missing off the map. Finding the pick they needed.
Funnick just picked up a Blink Dagger, so that means they have reliable way of starting a fight. If they take another good fight next few minutes, like taking Roche with Pugna, Slaughter, and the Lifestealer, that should be pretty easy. But once again, Viking, they have their ultis up. Hand of Midas, come on, use it, use it. There's nothing to use it on.
Kill the catapult. Yes. You got rid of it. And Lina just trying to farm towards what looks like Ether Lens. Could be, this could be a Eagle Scepter as well.
Haste.
Getting a decent amount of gold there. But it's kind of interesting for me. I think usually with Snapfire, you know, we've seen the +5, we've seen the kind of 3, and even the mid Snapfire come out, as we saw in the qualifiers. Next Generation playing a lot of the Snapfire Ags. But they're kind of roaming Snapfire from Aramis. It's a little bit different, but he's the setup. He's the guy that's going in, scouting people out and saying, hey, here's the fight, let's go.
Tower is under attack.
And it's not just, you know, damage, it's also a save once you get that Aghanim Scepter. And then you have Io with the tether, with the heals coming out, you have Relocate, you're gonna have that Aghanim Scepter at one point. Are playing, you know, they get an item, they show it, they get a big kill out from that.
Catch! Boom! He's picked off completely! Hellraisers with that blink from Funnick. Really nice maneuver into the trees.
Bottom tower is under attack. Radiant
on Funnick's Assassin Foul. Use that.
Top tower has
use
fallen.
it. You're not getting the value out of it.
It'll be a bounty rune as well. He's letting it soak. He's keeping it. He's maturing the shovel. Smoke from the 3 of them.
Toby
should be able to spot Toby
very aggressively here.
There's the bash. Chain stun the CK. It takes a lot to bring him down, and with an IO relocate, they won't actually get the finish. So Smoke gank tanked. Void coming in with a chrono potentially. Relocate is going to return to the river, but look at them. Hellraisers very disciplined, retreating as Viking were definitely ready to kick off a fight properly there. Oh, Witch Doctor, say goodbye.
Chronosphere still up. Faceless Void going for a tanky build. You know, he has Io beside him, so he's not playing that You know, I'm gonna go in, Mask of Madness, try to go for some more damage. He's gonna rely on getting in and out multiple times.
Radiant's
You
bottom
know,
tower
I'll try
is
to
under
bait
attack.
a couple of spells, especially with the Heaven's Halberd, some extra status resistance against all those stuns. And he is level 12. I mean, Chronosphere, one of the worst, if not the worst spell to scale in the game. 0.5 seconds. Wow.
The mana cost goes up by 75 as well, just for that 0.5 seconds. So I guess the Halberd helps him fight up against the Lifestealer in those 1v1s, but probably more importantly, he wants to Chrono the Pugna, right? That's going to be his Chrono target, then he can Halberd the Lifestealer if he's outside.
Yeah, that's for sure. Like, Pugna can do so much. They need to bring extra reveal because of the Glimmer Cape. And I see Dagon. Dagon right now is a very usable item. I don't know if you watched the game yesterday when Team Secret played against Tempo. Second game, Clockwork, Yappy, 10-minute, Brown Boots Dagon.
Really?
Clockwork. Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun. It's been a while. You remember the old days of Nature's Prophet, jungling, rushing Dagon 5, just, you know, spamming nulls, buying Dagons, it's fine. We need more of that. Viking coming back to defend Outpost.
Yeah, did not see Nature's Prophet in jungle going for Dagon for quite some time. My friend was a specialist in that regard.
Well, it's because,
so yeah,
you know, they got rid of cliff jungling, right? So there's no fun anymore for the Prophet junglers. Another smoke coming out from Hellraisers. They want to get into this dire jungle. Observers, sentries, reveal, everything being placed down. Hellraiser's coming out on top of that little trade, though. They have a sentry where that observer is. Maybe even contemplating Roshan, but looks like the line is drawn. Lifestealer says, get behind me, I'm very strong. I have Sanj armor, 2,500 HP, and 24 armor on Lifestealer. Vikings seem pretty casual, pretty chill, just happily ready to relax and push out these other lanes.
Faceless Void has Chronosphere up, has Hand of Midas, and you know, if there's Hand of Midas in game, you know I'm gonna be looking at it. You need to get the efficiency from it. And he's also holding a Dragon Scale, some extra armor. This guy is super tanky.
Oh, with the IO behind him as well. Gonna be an incredibly difficult target. And Viking have held on to this map really nicely. Hellraisers were the ones kind of itching to make a move. Still considering Roshan as they do make their way into the pit. Pop his Lincolns, get in there with Corrosive Haze. And right now, it doesn't look like Viking are going to make their way over here. Still pretty happy to shove out that bot wave, keep the Queen of Pain farming in the jungle.
I think what they want right now is just give up on they're pretty aware of it. They want Queen of Pain to have a BKB for their next fight. Mech completed on IO. CK will have his Echo Saber for the next fight. He's holding on to Tome of Knowledge, not using it. There he goes. And Snapfire with the Axe. So they have two big items coming out in the next 2 or 3 minutes, depending how much farm priority Snapfire gets.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's get that Faceless Void spat into the middle of 5. Big bubble. Get the combo going. But Hellraiser's going to be knocking on your door in a second. Aegis on Lifestealer means he is now emboldened to go play high ground. As Viking needs to make the defense. Nice positioning from HR so far. Sitting behind Nix. They know he's close to unkillable, and even if he dies once, he's got a second life. Kasani just in a glimmer and pump a bit of damage onto the tower.
There's the intense bomb on the bottom.
They do move forward. Funnick looking for Celery, misses the crush. In comes Lifestealer, but the tether away. Celeries are out of there, but the cast from the Witch Doctor, who backstab TP'd onto the outpost, does claim the kill. But it's just an IO, right, Lacoste?
Yeah, pretty sure Viking is fine with that. Losing just an IO there. They're farming their items. They're delaying any kind of a high ground push with that Aegis. Also, Lifestealer, he can't decide which items he wants to go for. Like, I want to have Heaven's Halberd, but I also want to get AC, so he's just going to finish off AC after buying the Sanj.
Yeah, bit of this, bit of that. Tank myself up. Might start walking into the Vikings territory now, though. And Hellraisers really do have this long snake of heroes just following Nix around at this point. Must be on his TeamSpeak or Discord. Just follow me, guys. I'm incredibly strong. Just make sure I don't catch me.
If you look at how gold difference is going in this game, because all the members of Hellraisers are going behind the Lifestealer, that means they're not getting too much out of XP and not too much gold. Yeah, they're getting the towers. Vikings are not pushing any. They only managed to kill one tier 1 tower on the bottom lane. That's it. But, you know, looking at the lineup that they have, they're not very good at taking towers before they take a fight.
Yeah, right now, it is just systematic dominoes toppling. Hellraisers moving lane to lane.
Tower is under attack.
2 minutes 20 on Aegis remain.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
We'll see if they actually try and crack open that tier 3 ramp area. I think you're right. You know, you mentioned all these heroes sitting by Lifestealer that they're losing out on the efficiency, not getting the gold or the farm. Then you look at how Viking are spread out very thin across the map. If one hero gets caught, there's no one to save them, but they're still getting a lot of money. And there's the Haze.
DK trying to bait with the illusion on the bottom lane. Someone's farming the mid. They have 2 heroes on the top with Io behind him. If he gets in any kind of, there's going to be relocate. Still a minute and 30 seconds left on that Aegis. There's going to be first death of Lifestealer.
And that's the Aegis down. He did a whole bunch of damage, though. Feels like Viking not going to commit for the second life. They've still got the Io and the Void up top taking a tower, and they forced Hellraisers back.
Viking are playing this extremely smart. You know, you don't expect them to go on a Lifestealer because there's still a minute and 20 seconds left on that Aegis. You don't think they're gonna play that aggressively, but they actually do. So you see Slardar. Slardar's level 13 only compared to like CK, who's about to be level 15, and he's going for assassin type of build, getting that Shadow Blade. So he wants to cut into back lines to find either a Witch Doctor or a Pugna and just blow him up instantly.
Hell yeah. Fortune.
And also, you know, when we're not looking for those kind of head-to-head fights, he can be the one that can scout and look for the relocate ganks as well, not just the Grandma that's been doing it so far. And Faceless Void closing in on Assault Cuirass. Pretty close to it. 3.5 minutes until fast spawn of Roshan, as Viking take full control of that top left corner of the map. They've got vision of the spots. These guys coming in. Funnick leading the charge. Has he got someone inside him? Lifestealer hunting.
They know where Shad is. They're pinging him out. There's like 3 different things.
Oh, that was a bit close. The Radiant scan there, just catching a glimpse of him. But yeah, Viking playing this spectacularly well. It feels like they've really got the feel of this kind of tug-of-war match between Hellraisers and themselves. So I felt there's been a couple of opportunities here where potentially Viking could, you know, lose a tier 3 or the high ground could come. But they're really forcing Hellraisers across the map from one side to the other.
You would expect them to keep fighting with the Chronosphere and having Queen of Pain ulti up, but they are choosing their fight wisely. They're, you know, ulti's up, let's fight. They're not doing that. They're just getting the most out of the map, considering that Hellraisers had that Aegis, so they had to find a different way to play for 5 minutes.
Yeah, it feels like they've made a very conscious decision to not fight across the river, right? If Hellraisers come to their high ground, sure, they'll pop a chrono. But it doesn't feel like Viking want to be the ones making the first move. They'd rather be reactive rather than aggressive. For now, anyway.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
HR sweeping through the jungle. Top lane not being addressed by Viking, so a pretty good idea of where they are. I think Hellraisers have got to know that this high ground triangle area where Viking are hiding.
Garrett, I don't want to be a downer, but I think we had 1 kill plus Aegis in the last 10 minutes. But the game still feels very intense to me, you know? All of these moves, they're getting the most out of the map. Everyone's farming. You do not want to make a mistake. Roach may respawn in a minute and 30 seconds. I think right now it's a good timing for Viking to try and then fight. Lanes need to be in a good position.
Radiant's bottom
Faceless
tower
Void,
is
he's
under
building all
attack.
these tanky items. He's sitting at what, 13 plus 19 armor? Okay, that's 32. Quick and easy math coming out from me.
That's a big number. I'm surprised you can count that high.
Very good.
But it does feel like the game's on a knife's edge. That, you know, that one fight. Whoever, and this fight coming up. Look, you're right, Lacoste. Both teams are smoked up. They want to make the move. This is tipping point right now. A big team fight
let's
for
see
either
if
side.
Shad is greedy. Does he use Hand of Midas? Yes, he does.
Are scared.
He uses Midas. The CK spots the Slardar's in with a 3-man cross. The impact down. They focus down. Then CK, but he gets off his Phantasm. Turns and kills. So the Witch Doctor falls and Void yields up. They don't have the control for him, though. It feels like Shad should be able to time walk away and still hold the Chrono is in the back. CK's in again. Crush from Thonic and a help from Lil clears up the IO. But boom, leads the way out. They do Chrono Thonic. A lone Slardar in the bubble. And the Grandma has to cancel her kisses. Cookie to the high ground. Aramis is out. Shad pops his wand. Continuing to battle, but a 2 for 2. A buyback from Lina comes out from Hellraisers, and Viking have bust out everything for a team fight, which felt like it could have gone either way.
Yeah, that was a good fast bomb and the stun coming out from Slaughter. 3-man crush with Team Fast, but there was no follow-up. What they needed was LSA on top of that, and Viking, they spread nicely. Not the best Chronosphere. However, only on Slaughter, they wanted to catch at least one more. Buyback coming out from Lil, so they need to reset. Roche may respawn in 2 minutes, will respawn in 2 minutes, so that means it's a very good timer for Viking because their team is the one who's relying on cooldowns.
Yeah, that gives them plenty of time to reset now. CK shoving out waves with his illusions. Will actually scout out Nix and maybe Phonic, who's TP'd at that top outpost. Courier from Lil inside the Roche pit, scouting out for when the big man spawns as well. So Hellraiser's here, they can play into their lanes as they wish, knowing that they've still got that intel to know when Roshan's up.
At one point, Faceless Void will start dealing some heavy right-click damage. He's going for MKB next. Like, it's just one of the best items right now that gives you so much damage. And he's getting closer to level 20. Like, he might actually get the attack speed on level 20 instead of the time walk. We'll see. He has enough sustain, but, you know, it's a safer choice. It's like comparing buying a BKB to, let's say, getting a Blink Dagger or
like a Moonshard.
like a Shadow Blade. Moonshard, yeah, Moonshard, this is the greatest item of all time. I'm gonna buy it. So this night with Blade, that means that he can cut in the backline, and Hellraisers, they need to be prepared with some sentry, otherwise it could be a disaster. Like, if he stuns Lina, CK, any of these supports, I don't think he can go on Slardar because he has also a BKB. It is very tanky, but one of these 3 intelligence heroes, he should be able to blow them up.
Witch Doctor does have a couple of sentries and vision. There's his Philosopher's Stone in his backpack, holding onto the craggy coat, expecting things to kick off any time now. As Toby, moving up the high ground, spots the Slardar, who gets jumped on by the Queen of Pain, but whom doesn't want to go wild for it. And it really has been quite a competitive, very delicate back and forth game. Like you were saying, 8 to 13. There hasn't been a massive amount of kills in this match, but it's definitely felt tense as both sides.
Yeah,
it feels like they understand the strengths and their weaknesses of both of them.
Yeah, but you know, kills equals fun. At least for me, that's how I play Dota. It's one of the reasons why I was never successful. Yeah, kills equal successful. That means Vikings are winning at the moment. Extra 5 kills.
There's the infest bomb. CK heals. Celery keeps him alive, but not for long enough. Now Shad is in the midst of it all. He can time walk back, but it looks like the loss of 2 of them here is going to be a pretty big disaster as the poor little Void is blown up as well. Inside that decrap, the Dagon, we're going to play as the BKB from Boom, forced out, and he'll blink away back into his fountain. Hellraisers with the perfect jumps and the chain stuns. Void down for 60 seconds with no buyback.
That was such a sick jump once again coming on Sonic. He found the perfect target. Was hesitating there for a second. Do I chrono or do I not? I needed to see where everyone else is standing. Repair kit used on mid lane, so that means they're gonna go on a different side. AC, some extra minus armor. They're playing this very carefully. They are thinking they have all their ultis up. They might have buyback. It's very hard to judge. You know, you see Faceless Void without full MKB, just a Demon Edge. So you're thinking, yeah, he probably has buyback, but he does not. So let's go in the road and take it. Rose goes down quickly. So these Ages or Hellraisers, I don't think you can test this.
They often just on to Grandma. Aramis has been found by Funnick and Lil. The heals from Celery, not enough yet again. It's a little bit too late to the party. And Hellraisers might be able to get one on the way out, as that relocate will bring the IO into the waiting arms of the entire Hellraiser squad. Poor little Celery, where did you go? Dagon there at level 3 now, as Kasani is zapping people into the grave.
And they have a Blink Dagger on Pugna, so you can be, you know, more mobile, try to either blink out when Faceless Void jumps in, or cut into backlines, try to find IO. Same goes for Lina. Like in that previous fight where Slaughter led the 3-man crush, there was no follow-up because Lina was not there, so he buys a Blink Dagger to just close the gap.
Get in on top of people.
Still, all tier 3 towers standing for Viking. Let me see how are we buyback department. 2.
Let's see if I get some more use out of them. Buybacks. Let's get that tab open as well. We are ready with a couple of them, Io and Grandma, as they try and just poke away the jump throw onto Celery. Funnick annihilates him as they were trying to poke the Lifestealer and force him back from the tower. But a buyback from Celery required. Now the BKB from Funnick gets away with a good engagement. Yours into stun. The heal is not enough. Dead again for 70 seconds. Blown up a piece of the map as the CK's in the back. Looking for the Grandma's Kisses. Landing on Slaughter, killing off Lil. Celery is fallen and dieback for him. But Lifestealer and Pugna still very healthy. To keep going up onto high ground, kill off the catapults, and get onto these barracks. Viking need to do something drastic, it feels like. They're going to lose buildings as the creep wave comes in.
Repair kit is available. I don't think he wants to use it. Already dropped fairly low. There's the Shield's Guard, but it's not slowing them down. I mean, they have no Faceless Void. I don't think Lifestealer dies. You can't take one life away from him, especially with the Aegis on top of that. Let's see, where's the follow-up?
There's the crush. Funnick comes in to save the day. Lifestealer turns. Try playing with Toby here. The Queen of Pain blinks back. Decrep and Dagon down to half HP. Aramis and Boom not going to follow through as Hellraisers now with a firm grasp on this game, going from around a 4k to a 14k net worth lead. And finally in the leading kill score. Hit their timing beautifully.
And this repair kit is just going to slow things down a bit, but if they want to win a team fight, they need to use Chrono.
Funnick is going wild in the back, yeah. He does utilize his BK on Slardar, but he's going to get chased down here by Boom. Pops the cheese, eats it up, goes to the TP. Stun from Shad. It's going to be a connection in onto Slardar as a 3-man Chrono. Viking do make a good team fight of this. Now focus from Shad onto the Witch Talk to jump in from Boom. Trying to stun him up and kick is gone. Now the Lifestealer, he does have Aegis. Don't forget the second life is there, but what can Pugna do? He's in a 1v4 as his Lifestealer, but he's just tanking through it all.
Dire are scanning.
He's sitting at 4,000 HP and 35 armor when Armlet is on, 30% status resistant. Now he's gonna have full Abyssal Blade. I don't think this Lifestealer is gonna die. They use the Chronosphere. We can see some lack of damage inside a Chronosphere, so Shad should not be afraid to use it. You know, it's your ability that's gonna win you a team fight, but you also need to pop it. Like you can't just rely on, yeah, I'm gonna get 4-man Chrono to win a team fight.
Use it while you can. Yeah, Lifestealer with 70% physical resist as well as all that status resistance. 39 armor.
Radiant's
Boom,
middle tower
heading into Scythe of Vice, finishing off the tier 1 mid.
Middle tower
37.5 minutes. That mid tier 1 on the Radiant side finally drops. Top lane and mid, both of that barracks, so Aramis relegated to dealing with the creep waves lots of lane maintenance now that Viking needs to do. That's Viking. They will hold on to their triangle. Lots of choke points for them to fight from in this high ground area.
Still not clear for 60 seconds.
Sonic has been so good with initiations, but it's Boom that goes in first. Kicked is healed up with the Infest. Now Toby, where's he going? He's trying to play onto the Witch Doctor still. The Grandma lands her kisses. Well done onto Witch Doctor as Viking get a singular kill. It's the Pos 5. Sonic with Lifestealer still going to play forward, nearly landing the LSA on the crop, but the Dagon blast down.
It's deleted.
Io gets removed from the game. Ceremonious removal.
Oh, there's Timeless Relic on the ground. Faceless could not pick it up. He was a bit too afraid, so
yikes.
Lina will then pick that one up. Debuff duration, spell damage, getting closer to Aghanim's Scepter. It's the perfect position for Lina item.
Holy crap. That's really going to hurt them. Boyd did pick up the Illusionist's Cape at the very least. They've got one repair kit charge on Boom. Still with Spider Legs, Quickening Charm on the Grandma. But here comes your 4,500 HP Lifestealer, who cannot be touched. You said you don't see him dying across.
Yeah. Harder. How's he gonna die?
We're gonna put it in the spread. I mean, it's 4.5k now. Here comes Funnick, the big tanky boy. They're looking for Aramis. Really towing the edge of that line with a smoke, and they jump the Grandma and annihilate her as Viking can't react. Boom jumping into the BKB, but it was a blade there from Lifestealer, forcing Boom to reposition, and Boyd can't chrono. He's thinking about it, but he has to catch his teammate. So Yule's up now into a stun from the LSA, and the Laguna Blade Dagon, and Boyd is gone with no way to save him. Viking have no way back into this, and Hellraisers are going to force the GG.
Yeah, I mean, the Faceless did not land a good Chrono in the last, like, 3 or 4 fights, and Hellraisers, if you look at the items